All right, well, we've got a lot of news to get to, and our first article is from ZDNet.com. Microsoft's Edge browser for Linux is now available for all users.
Well, it's about time.
Well, my question for you, Don, is great, but I know people on Windows who are trying to get it off of their machine. What is the value proposition for someone on Linux to get Edge?
All right, so there is actually a value proposition. Microsoft, they did switch to using the Chromium core for their Edge browser. So a lot of people say, why run Edge versus Chrome? I can just run Chrome. Google made it anyway. Or most Linux distros come with Firefox, so why not just run that one? Well, the value prop for Edge is that Edge is actually pretty fast, but so is Chrome for the most part, although it's kind of become a bit bloated over the years. But Edge is a lot more resource-friendly than Chrome is. So it still consumes a decent bit of RAM, but it's not as memory-hungry as Chrome is. But also, it does the full synchronization. So if you're somebody like me that has a Windows machine and a Mac and a Linux box and mobile devices as well, that I can run the Edge browser on all of them and synchronize between them. There's very few other browsers that really give you that. If you run Chrome, it does pretty much cover the various ones, but like if you run Safari, there's no Safari for Linux, and the Safari on Windows is, I don't think, supported anymore. So it's hard to find a good browser that gives you good synchronization across all the devices. But also, if you use Microsoft 365 in your company, the Microsoft apps integrate better with the Edge browser. So if it's your day-to-day productivity suite that you use, well, Edge is going to, I almost said give you an edge, which would be stupid marketing speak, so I got to walk that one back. But it does make it work more gooder. That's the other marketing language. So that's kind of the value prop. Now, there are die-hard Linux people who would never want to put a Microsoft product on their desktop. Yeah. But I wanted to highlight it here because I think it really does show that Microsoft is making a big push into that space. And so Linux is getting a lot more adoption, a lot more recognition from corporate entities.
I find it interesting that I mean, I get the idea that the diehard Linux are like, Microsoft, blah, blah, blah. I used to be that person myself, but then I started adopting the idea that Linux is this open environment. It's meant for me to customize and make it the way I want. And I like having options. I think the problem we used to have with Microsoft is they always force the option on you. This is what you will have. And that kind of turned a lot of people off, especially if you were like a Linux-minded person. Yeah. But now they're starting to, like you say, adopt that type of mentality and go with those types of philosophies. And now I just have another tool in my toolkit that I can reach in and use whenever I need it. And that's how I start to think about things when it comes to my Linux operating system. I want tools that I can reach in and use when I need them. I just don't want to be forced to be made to do those things.
Yeah, I know I used to use separate user profiles in Chrome. So I had a work profile and a personal profile, but I started noticing bleed over between the profiles. Like there were some things that it did not isolate right. And so now I've started using Edge for work and Chrome for personal, and so two separate browsers. And I use a theme to make my work one red and my personal one blue. Yeah. And so it's real obvious at a glance whether I'm in my work environment or personal. So
that's smart.
It's nice to have options.
It is.
And going back to your point, Daniel, I feel like we talked a little bit about something similar. I think it was last week when you weren't here, Don, about Windows Defender. That's now available as well, because we were having that same conversation. Why would I want this on my Android device or things like that? And I guess kind of the same logic.
Yeah, works, central management, synchronization of settings. Yep.
And being able to cross-platform, I can use it on those devices. So if I like that, it works for me. Why would I not want to use it? At least I want to have the option to use it. That's where my mind goes.
Yeah. Well, now you do, and it sounds like it's available on many different varieties of Linux distros. So,
and it's actually been available for about 4 months in beta. Now it's general release, so now it's the stable version that's out. Yep.
All right. Well, if you try it out, let us know how it works for you and what you think compared to it on Windows.
If you enjoyed that segment, be sure to check out our entire podcast available in the playlist right here. And you can always subscribe to stay up to date with the latest tech news and other happenings in the IT world. Be sure to tune in every Thursday for new episodes. I hope to see you there.